Okay, so you're going to need a pair of scissors, a fabric marker or just a regular marker or fabric chalk, a needle and thread, and the thread needs to match the color of your shirt, and a tape measure or a ruler, and a t-shirt that you don't mind cutting. So you're going to take your shirt and lay it down on a flat surface, and you're going to make sure that it's ironed and clean. And unless you're using a fabric pencil or something that will come off, I suggest turning it inside out if you're using marker, because if it's right side out, then it might just stain the shirt if you don't cut it correctly. And you're going to lay down the shirt so the front side is facing up, and you're just going to make sure everything's even. Then you're going to take your marker or pencil or whatever, and then you're going to draw a line cutting off the sleeves, and you can make it as low or however high you want it. So I'm just going to kind of start drawing, and I'm drawing kind of past the sleeve a little bit where the actual stitching is. Then you're going to take your pair of scissors and you're just going to cut on the line. Okay, so you can take the sleeve that you just cut off and line it up to the other sleeve, or you can get the t-shirt and fold it over instead of just eyeballing it or cutting it freehand. I like to fold it over because it's easier, just so I know where I'm cutting exactly, and sometimes the sleeve could be a bit hard. Unless you have pins, then you can just kind of pin it on there, making sure that it stays. Okay, so then you're going to unfold the t-shirt, and now you're going to cut off the collar. You can keep it if you want, but I prefer to cut it off. So you're just going to take the pencil again and then just line around where you want to cut it, and then just cut. Okay, so now you're just going to cut the collar. So now you're going to get your pencil or marker, and you're going to draw the line on the back of the shirt so it would bring it in more, kind of like a razor back. And the line is going to need to end where the end of the sleeve is, where you cut. Here and here. And you're just cutting the back of the shirt. You don't want to cut the front. Okay, so you're going to get the part of the shirt that you cut off, and because it's harder to fold this and cut it correctly, just because you were only cutting the back. So you're just going to get the piece that you cut off, line it up to the opposite side, and now you're just going to cut. And now you're going to cut straight under the back collar, just a straight line. So now you have a detachable part, and this is the part where you're going to cut 3 different pieces, and those will be your fabric pieces for the braid. So you're just going to take a ruler. You can take a ruler, or you can just kind of like eyeball it again, and you can make them however wide apart, like just an inch or 3 inches, and then if you have extra pieces left over, you can just kind of trim those off. So now you're just going to cut those 3 pieces, and you're going to stop when it starts to curve at the bottom. So right here. Okay, so now you're going to take those 3 pieces and just kind of stretch them out, so that way they're longer. And now you're just going to braid those 3 pieces together. And make sure that the braid is really tight. Okay, so then you're going to take your thread and you're going to thread your needle, and you don't need to make the thread that long. You just need to make it like however long you need it. So then you're going to take the needle that you threaded and stick it through all 3 pieces of the braid. You're also going to put the needle through the back of the collar, and you're going to tug on the thread to make sure that it's all tight and they're all put together. And then after that, you're just going to re-sew it over and over to make sure that all the 3 pieces are sewn to the back of the collar, and just so when you wash it, it'll stay. Once everything is secure and sewed together, then you're going to take the needle and then just tie knots, and then everything stays. And I suggest maybe doing it 2 or 3 times just to make sure it stays and it doesn't come undone when you wash it. Then after you're done sewing, you can cut off any excess fabric or just, adjust the shirt how you would want it. Then after everything's finished, you're just going to turn the shirt inside out. And then from here you can kind of color it or, do anything you want to. And now you have your braided back tank top.